way too smart for my own good and try to let people know it all the time.
I may have suffered from the same,
Terrible, terrible thing. Who's got, right here?
First of all, I've seen a lot of movies, and that smile was probably one of the most impressive things I've ever seen in my life.
Right?
I'm curious about your work with Amazing Stories.
Yeah, the very first thing I got to do was Santa 85, which was an amazing, 1985, first amazing story for Spielberg, and the second one was called The Doll.
Wait, did you say Santa? You did the Santa one?
Santa 85. Yeah, with the ray gun. Yeah.
I love that, dude.
Yeah, and the little boy busts him out of jail. And we were shooting, we snowed in the back lot of Universal in July of that year with gypsum, and they brought in the reindeer from Canada, and it was during a heat wave. And I'll never forget, they brought the reindeer out at night, and they had them in a trailer, and I was like, I don't know, those reindeer don't look so good. And the reindeer's tongues are hanging like, I don't think those reindeer are going to run. They go, be fine, those reindeer will run, don't you worry. And we get them all hooked up. We get them all hooked up to the sleigh, and it's like, okay. And it's like, don't you worry, son, those reindeer are going to outrun your camera. You guys aren't going to be able to keep up with these reindeer. So I put Santa and a little boy in the sleigh, and I was like, okay, get ready, because you put the doll track, and so got all these guys on the dolly, and keep up with the reindeer. We say, ready, set, go! And the guys go racing off with the dolly, and the reindeer take like 2 steps and say, fuck it. Reindeer didn't move 3 feet. That was it. Wrap. The reindeer ain't running. I was like, what did you got? I found out they kept him in this hot trailer, and we ended up. I got him a big sound stage, air conditioned, chilly, and I put hay all over the ground for them because they were from Canada. They come in from like cold weather in Canada. We put hay down. They ate all day, and we came back the next night. Those reindeer ran like you could like reindeer. Like reindeer's supposed to. So that was my big. But I will say the first time I saw, I'll actually tell you this kind of a pathetic little story. Actually, first day of dailies on Santa 85, I was convinced they were so bad. The first day's dailies we'd shot. And everyone came to see like who the punk kid was, everyone came to dailies, like a room bigger than this. It was everyone from the production came to watch, and I was in the back and like, oh my God, these suck. These are terrible. And as they progressed further, I was like, I'm gonna get fired. I'm gonna get fired at the first day of my first professional job. And so they ended, and everyone got up afterwards like, oh, great job, Phil, great first day, all being really, really nice. I'm like, oh God, they're just humoring me. They're just being trying to be nice. And I went out to the thing, and I couldn't speak because I was so afraid I was going to get fired. And I went outside, and I went around the back of the soundstage at Universal and burst into tears because I thought, this is it. And the producer comes around, David Vogel, our producer on 35, comes around the corner and goes, oh my God, you're having a breakdown!
That sounds like it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, oh my God! I was like, are you going to fire me? He's like, what? And they weren't going to fire me, but I was convinced they were going to fire me. So my first day on that, I thought I just wasn't used to the process, the professional version.
Well, the dailies on 3 o'clock high, was Spielberg watching those?
Yeah, he was actually.
I heard reports from that. Never met the man.
No, yeah.
Come on.
He was watching them.
He liked them.
He was watching we only went over one day on 3 o'clock high, and it was actually in the student store with the kids, putting all those shots of the kids with the money. And at lunchtime, our producer came up and said, you've got to call, our production officer in the basement, you've got to call, it's Steven calling from China. He was shooting Empire of the Sun. I'm like, from China? I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, he really wants to. This is lunch. Like, we're not even over yet. It's that day. We're just a little behind. One time behind. And I go, hello, I said, I hear you're not going to make your day. I'm like, what? China. And he's like, you can't go over. You can't go over. Forget it. And I
He's just got a bet with Coppola, and that's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
He said, all right, I'll let you go over this one day. That's it. And yeah, so he was.
Seth, you did Amazing Stories too, didn't you?
I did an episode of Amazing Stories called The Sitter with Mabel King and Joshua Rudoy, who went on to be, oh man, I wish I could remember the character's name, from Flatliners. He was the scary dead kid. That's my brother. But hey, Richard, Kindergarten Cop is a movie that I absolutely love. it was the first that action stars could do comedy. It kind of set a trend for all those guys trying to do funny movies. And you, I mean, like, you tend to play all these heavies, and that's so not who you are. Do you ever get frustrated? Do you like playing that character? Do you like playing, like, complicated characters like that?
Yeah, I love the complicated characters. If someone asks me, do you do comedy? I'm like, yeah, my first movie, you know, yeah, I do comedy, Fairly Brothers, Something About Mary, all that stuff. And, you know, I do Shakespeare in the summertime in Topanga. You can come up and see that.
Oh, my goodness.
You know, you know, I think at the Will Gear Theatricum Botanicum.
All right, guys, we're all going to Topanga.
Yeah. It's so weird to give up the greatest characters ever written in the history of mankind, like Iago and Othello. You know, once you get a real job, you have to leave the theater. That's an unwritten rule, you know. So I'm working on Iago for 10 nights, right? And then I get a call and I end up playing a used car salesman in 1965 in rural Alabama. You know?
Dude, I'm always the guy in the van.
Huh?
I'm always the guy in the van. Yeah, he's on your 3 o'clock. You know the heat sensors are picking up. There's 5 guys all around you. Get out of there! I'm repositioning the geothermal satellite from up here. I think I can pass it into your comlink. All right, you should have visual. Thanks, Shakespeare.
No, but with the Kindergarten Cop, they saw the first cut, and Arnold looked bad for shooting my character, so they went back and reshot a lot of the sequences where I'm an asshole, you know, in front of the judge.
Trying to make you less likable?
Yeah. You know, the interview where he throws me through the door and he says, "You're the bad guy, the $3 million drug bad guy, you know." You know, and then I insult him. I says, my wife left for the money, yours left because she just couldn't stand the sight of you. You know, that was it. You know? And then I shoot the guy at the, you know, and then I burned down an elementary school. No, but until then, he looked bad for shooting me. And Arnold, when I said, "Arnold, now when I go through that door, you don't have to throw me through that door. I'll make you look good." He said, "I don't know, Tyson." I said, "Look, I will. We're actors here. We're actors, you know." I said, "I'll make you look good, you know." He goes, "Okay, one try, Tyson, one try." And I went through that door, and afterwards he's like, "Oh, that's pretty good. I liked it."
You ever call him for favors? No, he's the governor.
I actually went to his office just the other day. My new movie, Jake's Corner, themovie.com. You go out there. It's one of my best movies ever. I mean, I think a 3 o'clock high. You know, Black Hawk Down, but this movie was made for $1.6 million, and I'm telling you, this Jake's Corner is a special movie. I encourage you to look at it.
I look forward to it.
Excellent.
Anybody got anything, or should we take a brief? Can we take like a 5-minute intermission? Oh, wait,
I just want to know if you're going to come back to talk about State of Grace, because if not, you should tell us a little now. Like if you're going to talk at the end.
Yeah, no, I wasn't going to stay for
Okay, tell us
State
a
of
little
Grace.
bit about it now.
Dance for us, monkey boy. Well, I mean, I'll ask you. I mean, you're amazing actors in that, and for a lot of them, it was the first time they ever worked together. Was there? I mean, were they excited about it?
Oh yeah, I mean, Sean came on the movie first, and then Gary and Ed.
I'm sorry, Sean Penn, he came up to me and goes, "Buddy Ravel." Swear.
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
That is funny.
Did you hit him with a spicoli?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm not in that movie, so I'm trying to get it back to the home.